Nile River is one of the main features of ancient Egypt. It is over 4,000 miles long, which makes it the longest river in the world. Ancient Egyptian territory ends at the First Cataract, where there are churning rapids and boulders. It's impossible to pass on a riverboat. However, the Nile does offer many gifts. It gives the peasants silt to farm on, and it gives fresh water and transportation for trading. In fact, the Nile River is worshipped as a god. Isaiah has more on that.
The reason why the Nile River is considered a god is through its power that it presents through the floods and through the gift it presents to the people with its silt for its farmers. But that's not the only god that the Egyptians have. They have many other gods for the elements, such as a god for the sun, and a god for death, and a god for water, and so on and so forth, which makes this religion a polytheistic religion, which means they have many gods. Another important thing about the religion is that their government is a theocracy, which means that religion plays a very important part in their government. The one evidence on that is their pharaohs. The pharaohs are the rulers of Egypt, and they're not just rulers, they're also considered gods, which is a very important thing because they bury them and mummify them, which is an act into preserving them so that they can move on into the afterlife. Now, the afterlife is an important part because it's how the Egyptians get into their paradise. Their paradise, how you get into there, is based on good deeds and the weight of your heart. The more good deeds you do, the lighter your heart becomes. And that is why the Egyptian society was such a good society and had no crime, because everyone wanted to get into this paradise and they needed to do good deeds to do that. The greatest accomplishment of the Egyptians was the building of the pyramids. The pharaohs were buried in these pyramids, and they kept their possessions in there because they believed that if you stored your possessions with you, that they would be with you in the afterlife. Now, the pyramids were grander than their palaces, and it went over 480 feet tall. And each of the stone bricks that they were made of were 2.5 tons to 15 tons, and they moved all this all without the wheel. Now, there's a less physical pyramid that the Egyptians had, but it's called the social pyramid. Back to you, Paige.
Yes, there is a social pyramid where there are 4 different classes. On the bottom are the peasants and laborers. Next are the merchants and artisans. Then there are the wealthy government officials, priests, and commanders. Then finally at the top is the royal family. There are ways to move up out of your lower class if you marry someone in an upper class. Then you can also have success in your job.
That's all we have on Egypt today. Stay tuned next week for insight